Hey guys, welcome back to another interview here on Toned In Entertainment. Today we're at Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum, the Heartbreaker show here in February, and I'm joined by Trevor Read.
How you doing out there? YouTube world, Facebook world?
Every world.
The entire internet. Beautiful. I love it.
There is no limits here.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Mr. Tony.
Oh yes,
Hey.
no, thank you, Trevor. You know, we've been talking for a while now.
I know.
To do this interview because it seems like at almost every event you're so busy because a lot of times you're setting up the ring.
Yeah, I love being able to help out with any part of a show that I can, whether it's performing or booking or promoting or even just setting up the rings. Yeah, I mean, I love being able to enjoy all the different aspects of the wrestling shows. So yeah, I'm glad this time around I got to take a little bit of a break so we get to have this talk. I don't have to tighten up ropes right now, so we're good.
Now, is that your company that does brings the ring?
Yes, that's us.
It is your company.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome because not only do you get to like be there, be the whole part of it, get to wrestle as well.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And plus, I have a wrestling ring. I'm like the coolest kid in the world. You know, I got a wrestling ring. I can set it up whenever I want to. I love it.
Do you have a backyard where you set up that ring?
Oh, I wish, man. My backyard is all like slanted and stuff. Like, no, I couldn't.
No.
I wish.
Okay, so you're not the coolest kid yet because you got to get that ring set up in the backyard.
I didn't have a trampoline growing up, but I have a wrestling ring, so you know.
Hey, that's cooler, I think.
Yeah,
right? Once all the COVID goes away, we can have some barbecues, go to Trevor's place.
That's what I want. One day, one of my birthdays, I just want to have a big backyard fest and just barbecue and wrestling. That's all I want to do.
That sounds like
set it up right by the pool, you know, and get a little crazy.
Sounds like the best time ever. Now, Trevor, I do want to compliment you because I've been going to a lot of the shows, and honestly, in my honest opinion, I think you're one of the best technical wrestlers on the independent scene.
Thank you. You know, I love technical wrestling. I love the sport of wrestling because, you know, growing up I did a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of grappling, a lot of the submission wrestling, and then in high school too I did a lot of amateur folk style, Greco-Roman style wrestling. So then being able to use that, incorporate that into our professional wrestling, being able to, and then learning about catch wrestling and a lot of the old school styles of professional wrestling, whether I've been training up, whether I pick it up on the road or at shows or with Gangrel, and it's just, you keep adding to it because it's everyone likes to do the flips and the dives and the kicks and the punches, but you know what? The word is wrestling, and it's all about wrestling, you know. And I just have a blast just learning it, and there's always something new to learn. A new hold, a new way to get out, a new reversal, a new counter, and then never stop learning.
Right.
I love it. It's what keeps me going every week.
Now, speaking of that one word, wrestling, when you're in the ring, often you out wrestling.
Yes.
Where does that come from?
Oh, I'm just so excited about wrestling. You know, I just love it. Wrestling, you know, yeah, I love it. Oh, I love it, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my first memories of you, one of the first shows I ever saw you in, and then we're like, who's this guy? Wrestling, it's the wrestling guy. Okay, it's Trevor, now we know
I was like,
who you are.
all right, this guy knows what he's doing, all right.
Yes.
So, you know, it works out in wrestling. I can't play baseball, come up to the mound and go, baseball! We're going homer. We're hitting a homer today.
But in wrestling,
I'll try it. If I ever make it to baseball or basketball, hit that, you know.
I just imagine, like, everywhere we go, you'd be at a barbecue, like, barbecue!
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is, but I want to hang out with this guy.
Definitely. Now, Trevor, obviously I've seen you on a lot of independent shows, but recently, late 2020, I saw you on an episode of AEW Dark.
Oh, it was a blast. It was a blast. I got my ass handed to me a little bit. I was a little blindsided by Ricky Starks. You know, hopefully I get my rematch. I'll come a little better prepared for it. I didn't get any of my transitions or my submission moves on him. Came unprepared for that. But I had a blast. It was great being able to interact and work out with a lot of the guys there. I got to work out with Dustin and Dustin Rhodes and Jerry Land, and I got to network and talk to a bunch of guys. And I loved the match. It was great being able to be showcased on YouTube, but just the experience leading up to that, you know, being able to work out, interact with a lot of the guys that I've always looked up to. It was great, very helpful. Everyone wanted everyone to succeed, whether it was the main event or just the guy getting his ass kicked on Dark. And then don't even get me started on how great catering was. Catering was beautiful. Oh, it was great. I had like chicken and smoked salmon, and then they had those little those little wooden spoon ice cream things from like elementary school. It brought me back. Oh, it was so much
like
fun.
the ices?
Yes.
The Italian ices?
Yeah, AEW, they hold nothing back. Even catering, they go all out. I love it.
Damn, Tony Khan is not holding back. He's making sure everybody's taken care of out there.
He's making Trevor happy. Thanks, Tony.
I like that. Now, Trevor, obviously, you are in great shape. You know? I mean, look at this guy. This guy is a physical specimen out here. Look at this.
It's the tan. It's not...
Right. So obviously you're eating good most of the time, I would assume.
I'm trying to.
But after that match, you're going to have that cheat meal, I would assume. What would that cheat meal be?
Oh, man. If we have that match, we've got to treat ourselves to Taco Bell. I don't know, but Taco Bell is kind of the slipping because I'm losing some of my post-match meals. You know, there are times where you have such a bad match, you go out and you eat Taco Bell because you're depressed. And then you have a great match and you treat yourself to Taco Bell, and it's a completely different, mindset. But yeah, I'm missing my potatoes, my Fiesta potato bowls. I'm disappointed in that. But I still got my cheesy gordita crunches. That's my go-to. My cheesy gordita crunches. That's my point. Yeah.
It's always frustrating when you go and you want to order something and then that favorite thing is gone off the menu.
It makes me sad.
It's so upsetting. Don't get me started about some of these places recently. Now, Trevor, in your free time when you're not wrestling, what are some things you like to do?
I mean, right now there isn't much to do. I love my tape studying. Any free time in front of the TV or the computer, I always pull out my DVDs. I've been getting a lot of some old territory stuff, the World Class, the Florida Championship Wrestling, a lot of the Mid-Atlantic and UWF Mid-South Wrestling. I love being able just to go back to the 70s and 80s and learn a lot of the wrestling history and traditions, and being able to pick up one or two new moves from a random match back in Memphis. I love it, And then during the week too, I'll work on cars too. I get to work on cars during my off time during the week, so I'm always staying busy because, before all this came to a halt, I was setting up every other week all over the place. So I've been able to slow down and being able to recoup and be able to spend time with my family and some close friends and just be able to get everything back in order, in life. So definitely making this into a positive.
Okay. Now, speaking of the 70s and 80s, unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago, we lost one of the great ones from the 70s and 80s, Rusty Brooks.
Yes.
He was a great mentor here in the GWA. What did he mean to you?
Rusty broke us in. He was our father. He was our wrestling dad. We would train in his backyard. His backyard was just a wrestling ring, and he had one of those old 80s. He had one of those 80s wooden rings. The only thing that was metal were the 4 turnbuckle posts. Then everything else was just made out of wood. And in the wood, instead of having this nice fancy padding, it was just carpet padding. And it was one of the toughest, hardest bumps I've ever taken, but I loved it because it prepared us for outside, for the independent wrestling scene, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Just being able to work out with somebody like Rusty and just having he was all over. He may not be well known to the average wrestling fan today, but I mean, he was all over the place. He wrestled Hogan, he wrestled Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Kamala. He was all over the place on the WWF and on the Florida independent scene or the championship wrestling Florida scene. And it's real sad to see him go. I enjoy the time. I got to spend time with him before all the COVID happened, the pandemic. I was able to spend a few days, a week with him, being able to talk wrestling and being able to, spend time with him. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who wish they spent more time with him, just like everybody else. Before they pass, you always want to spend time with the closest ones that you love because you never know when it's somebody's time. And I love Rusty, and I'm forever in debt to him for my wrestling success.
Yeah, no, it's a great message. We always think we have more time to do stuff, and then one day, something, and, never have regrets,
Yeah.
Now, since we're here at Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum, here in Dania, Florida, you're wrestling all over the place, but you're also here training. If somebody's interested in becoming a wrestler, why is this a great place to be at?
This is the great place because you have all the tools and everything you need to succeed in professional wrestling. We have a top-notch facility. We have a great staff of coaches and trainers here. And the atmosphere with the students, everybody wants to get better. Everybody has the same dreams, the same goals, the same passions. So this is the place you want to be to live out your dream. There's nothing you cannot learn about pro wrestling in this building right here, in this facility.
Right, that's very true because I can honestly tell you, it had been like 10 years since I had been to an independent show.
Yeah.
My first show back was a Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum event. And you
was
see
that
me,
over here? Was that at the casino?
It was at the casino.
Okay.
Scott Steiner was at that one.
Oh, yeah,
so it got me
Scotty.
to go. But all you guys wrestling is what kept me coming.
Yeah.
So you guys definitely have put on great shows. I think if people aren't going to their local independent shows, they're completely missing
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. Now, everyone has to start somewhere. Nobody just wakes up in the morning and decides they're going to be on WWE TV. Everyone has to learn their craft, hone their skills on the independent scene, and it's always fun to be able to see somebody that wrestling in front of 10 people, giving it 110%. And then one day seeing them on a bigger stage, it's such a great feeling to see someone succeed like that. And that's what I hope everybody at the school does one day. They live out their dream, they succeed in the way that they want to.
Right, and that's what's great about here at Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum is that not only have you been on AEW Dark, Kylan King has been on AEW Dark, Damian Fenrir has been on AEW Dark, Big Country.
And don't forget, I'm pretty sure Gangrel was on some pay-per-view.
He was on the pay-per-view when he came out and attacked Sammy Guevara, I would think it was.
Came out of the Lakers.
Yes.
Just out of nowhere.
We were sitting there watching it because I do watch every AEW pay-per-view.
Okay.
I buy the pay-per-views. I'm a loyal watcher.
Good deal.
And when Gangrel came out, we're like, oh my God, it's Gangrel on AEW.
You got all the action figures and the title belts and all that
I'm
stuff?
working on it.
Oh,
Some of them are very expensive.
What are you going for, the brandy now? Is that what
Oh
you're
my
missing?
God, it's like $200. It's crazy.
See, I'm glad I'm a DVD guy. I don't collect a lot in wrestling. I know everybody has their titles, their 8x10, all that. I do DVDs. I'm a big tape trading guy. I love getting DVDs of all over the place. Action figures, man, I give everyone who collects action figures props because that takes a lot of patience, a lot of money, and a lot of, taking care of those things.
A lot of hunting as well.
Yeah.
Going to store after store after store, finding the same Chris Jericho one everywhere, but you're looking for that Brandy Rhodes or that Darby Allin. It's becoming hard to find. Now, speaking of DVDs, if you're going to watch one DVD when you get home, what DVD would that be?
Oh, that's got to be tough. It's every day I wake up, and when I want to learn something new or think of something else, I got to put it on. Right now, I actually got... thanks to the guys over at IVP Videos, I got a 32-disc Best of Eddie Guerrero. His entire, starting back from 88, 89, all the way through his WCW, New Japan, ECW run. And even just going through the 2002, 2004 WWE run, or WWE at the time.
Yeah.
Just watching his matches with Chavo, Kurt Angle, Edge, Rey Mysterio, all those guys, and even his matches leading up to Brock Lesnar's match and the tag matches. I mean, there's nothing that guy could not do. If you want to talk about a textbook professional wrestler, it's got to be Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is right up there, along with some of the, with Ric Flair and Bret Hart and all those guys. He's up here. He's top tier wrestler. And you can never not learn something from an Eddie Guerrero match. I definitely believe that.
Right. I mean, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat. I mean, not only did he have the skills, he had the character, he had the mic, just the persona. Eddie Guerrero was definitely a complete package out
absolutely.
there. Now, I want to ask one question because, we've kind of got one of your wrestling influences here.
Yeah.
But since we're at Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum, I feel it's an appropriate question to ask. Edge and Christian have come back. Gangrel's been on AEW. Let's say the Brood was actually getting back together and they challenged Trevor Read to a match.
Oh, man.
You have to bring two partners of your choosing. Who you bringing along with you?
No, I have to bring Steve.
Okay.
I got to bring Steve, Steve's the guy that I'm pretty sure he's like the Christian, right? I think he's more. I see him over there.
He's already pointing at us.
He's always there. He's like, oh, it's me.
Look at this. He wants us just to do this, so we'll give him a Steve. We'll give him a little. We'll put him over real quick.
So I got Steve on one side, and I got to get my brother Mike Monroe. He's not here right now. He's taking care of some other stuff right now. But he's my other tag team partner. I mean, Mike and I have gone back since the very beginning, since the early Rusty Brooks backyard wooden ring days. So I know if I had Steve on one side and Mike on the other side, there ain't no stopping. I'm sorry, Gangrel, but we're coming for you. Yeah.
I love that, man. That is such a great, and you definitely guys. I mean, there's three popular guys, but you three guys are pretty popular as well. So it's going to be that real toss-up to see who's over.
It's going to make the following Monday's practice a little awkward, I think.
But it's wrestling. That's what it's all about, though. So, Trevor, is there anything else we should know?
No, you know what? Just like you said, keep supporting those independents. Especially in these times. A lot of guys. I've seen a lot of great promotion, a great crew of wrestlers, even still performing today as safely, as socially distant as possible. Being able to still put on a great act or a great performance, a great event, and having a good time. Just to keep everybody, somewhat sane during this trying times. So stay out there, keep supporting, whether it's the GWA at GWA Florida or any of your local independents, wherever you guys see them. I'm sure you can find them online. There's independent wrestling all over the place. If you haven't looked, yeah, you got to look out and support what you can find.
And definitely look out for those nice, safe places. Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum. It's socially distanced here with the chairs.
Yes.
You guys are tested before the event.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's a lot of places doing it right. There's some places doing it wrong. Definitely look for those places that are doing it right.
Yeah,
Go out, support
absolutely.
those guys, the ones that are putting out the great shows. Keeping everybody safe at the same time.
Yeah.
Which was
And
important.
of course, if you can't come in live, if you can't come here in person, you can always check out the live streams. I don't think this stream will be aired a little later on this week, but more times than not, they're live streamed the day of or real time. So just be on the lookout for those on our Facebook, Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum on Facebook, and GWA Florida on Twitter and the Instagram. So yeah, always looking.
Yeah, I always put a link down below in the description for the YouTube channel to Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum.
Just swipe up to find more.
Exactly. They can go rate and watch the shows from there. They're always a good time, and go back and watch the old shows in case you missed something. Trevor, where can people look you up at?
You guys can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. You can @GoldenBoyTech, one word. I admit I haven't been actively on social media. I've been taking a little bit of a break, but I'm going to be back on once we get the ball rolling with more events and more shows. You'll definitely see me be a lot more active. So find me on the Twitter. Give me a shout out. I'll have to follow back. We'll have to talk wrestling. If anybody wants to talk wrestling, I'm always down to talk wrestling.
Trevor is always down to talk wrestling. Yeah. See, I'm out there. I can't wait to see you in the ring today. Every time you yell it out, we yell it out back with you. We're always having fun with you.
So
Trevor.
Steve has his Steve shirt. I got to just get a wrestling shirt. Is that just wrestling?
I think so, with the exclamation mark, right? And then we can like switch between the two shirts every event, or
just wrestling.
Right, exactly. My fiance and I could each wear one, and we'll have Steve wrestling, and we're good to go.
There we go.
That's how we need the merch, Trev. We need the merch.
I got it. Fair enough.
All right, Trevor. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely.
Thank you guys out there.
Definitely appreciate you taking out the time. We finally made this interview happen. I'm super excited. Best of luck. AEW Dark. Hopefully some more matches. Hopefully we'll see WWE wherever the sky's going to take you. It's only the limit. You got a lot of potential. Can't wait to see more from you in the future.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Be safe, everybody.
All right, guys. If you like interviews like this with Trevor Read here at Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.